apprentices, acolytes. It's so good to see you. Coming into the Dark Temple, visited by Mara Jade, Luke Skywalker, and Kyle Katarn, and so many of the Force sensitives like yourself. I'm Lord Dagovere, fam. And it's so damn good to see you. Let's go. My gosh. Hello. So good to see you, fams. Hello there, Trent, my boy. Oh my god, this is like the most you've ever said in the chat, Trent. Let's go. David Torres, Skywalker Academy, Leon. Let's go. All the fam. Reza. Oh my gosh. All the homies in the chat. Let's go. Let's go. Hope you guys are doing good. Hope you guys are doing well. I've been like running and walking like crazy, guys. Sometimes I'm like overly obsessive with like my goals and stuff. So if I start getting like really tired or something on stream, it's only because like I've been I've been going crazy and putting in the work recently. So I hope you guys are doing. Yo, Sidious, it's so good to see you, fam. So good. David Torres, it's so good to see you again, my guy. I feel like it's been forever, fam. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, but a lot of people do. Enjoy the Daredevil show. I remember a lot of people talking about it. I've never really seen it. I saw the last two episodes recently because the final season. For the final season because the new show was coming on, but I wanted to see and just like gather my thoughts on how it was. It wasn't a bad show. It's very interesting. I think the first two episodes that I saw were good. I liked it. It was fine. But I'm also like not that big of a Marvel fan, so I'm kind of just like enjoying it, But I wanted to go in and read the first issue, or issue 1 of Dawn of the Jedi today with you guys. Is this the gun show? Look at my boy Smilo Ren. Yeah. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I do the best I can. Yeah, dude. By the way, you guys noticed that Adam Driver, John Boyega, and Daisy Ridley were considered for Marvel roles? Yeah, they're fantastic actors. Actors, and actresses. Yeah, they're fantastic, man. The only reason why people think that they're like not good is because the sequel trilogy. Even still, I never really understood the issues that people had with Daisy Ridley, but it is what it is. Adam Driver was considered for Doctor Doom. That would have been amazing. I really wanted Henry Cavill. That's who I wanted as Doctor Doom. I remember talking about like 6 years ago. I think I was like, dude, I don't know why they don't just hire this guy as Doctor Doom. He's perfect. I feel like he was perfect. He's got the body. He's got everything. But yeah, we'll see. We'll have to see. John Boyega was considered for Blade. That'd have been cool as hell. Daisy Ridley was considered for Spider-Woman. Interesting. That's really interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind, man. I think they're great actors, actresses. I've seen a lot of them, especially John Boyega. John Boyega was phenomenal in the Woman King. Was it the Woman King? He's really good in that. He was also very good in They Clone Tyrone. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. It's a really weird Netflix movie. But he was really good in that. He was very, very good in that movie. Yeah, a lot of good stuff. Adam Driver's Adam Driver. I don't need to say anything about Adam Driver. He's that good. What do you think of the whole K? What are you talking about? Also, guys, I did get the new Star Wars Complete Locations book. It is good. Oh, yeah, the Kathleen Kennedy drama. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. I'll summarize what we're doing. So the one thing I don't like about this book, guys, is there's a lot of the same stuff from the first one in here. Like, a lot of the same first one stuff. There's, like, a couple things from, like, the sequel trilogy era and, like, Mando and a few other things. But I was really hoping for more. It's not a bad book. Like, if you see it, pick it up, especially if you don't have the first one. But someone like me, I was really hoping for like more stuff, like the Razor Crest. They did the obvious things that I wanted, like the Death Star wreckage and like Exegol. So it's a lot of pretty cool things in there that I'm gonna talk about in videos. Second thing is well, that's disappointing. I'll definitely still pick. Yeah, definitely pick it up though, Skywalker Kenobi, because it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just I was hoping for more new stuff. That's all. I was hoping for more new stuff. And if you guys have listened to the podcast, the podcast last week is different. Okay, it's not the same Unlock the Knowledge stuff that you're used to. This is the first time that I've ever done this. This is a very political book. I'm not used to Star Wars political books. I usually just stick to, lightsabers and force-sensitive stuff. I'm in the midst of reading Dawn of the Jedi right now, the book, as we read the Dawn of the Jedi comics. And this was a very hard book to follow. Mind you, that the writer also is Alexander Freed, who does the Alphabet Squadron books, and a lot of people really love those Alphabet Squadron books. I am not one of those people. It was very hard for me to follow. I don't know why. It wasn't doing anything for me. There was some stuff that was pretty good. This book was really interesting. It takes place right during the Empire, right with the creation of the Empire. The Republic transitions into the Empire, and literally Palpatine's speech is right there, right after Order 66. So you get to see Mon Mothma, you get to see Saw Gerrera, you get to see Bail Organa. And it was really interesting to see how politics were changing as the Empire was becoming the Empire. Pretty good book. And if you like Andor, I think that this is an Andor enhancing book. And it's the first book of three books, so an entire trilogy of stories that they're going to use for Andor. So if you don't want to spend your money, please go on the podcast that I uploaded Sunday. Check it out. I summarized the entire freaking story for you. So it's like story time with Lord Dagovere. And then if you enjoy it, think about getting the book. Because the book is actually pretty solid. Thank you, Rayz. I really appreciate you listening to it. That was by far the hardest podcast I've ever done. It's really hard in doing all those type of political stuff. I'm not really a political person. I'm more so invested into Star Wars, even though Revenge of the Sith is like my favorite Star Wars movie, which is like the most political movie too. So yeah, very very interesting. Fantastic podcast. Thank you, Skywalker fan. Did you listen too? Damn, seriously guys, if you ever listen and I'm doing my stream or whatever, you're in the Discord, please give me any feedback whatsoever, because it helps out so much. Especially right now, because my shorts are they're not doing well. YouTube is doing something. They've been doing something with the algorithm for the past couple months. And so I'm going to be transitioning into long form videos. And the first video that I'm going to be doing is about the Grey Jedi. And that was a really big topic that I had with the podcast. I had 300, 400 people listen to it. And so I want to kind of evolve that into a long form video that you guys can absorb and digest. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be better. It's not for the Great Jedi or against the Great Jedi. It's just my view, but I also want to use facts, straight facts from George Lucas, the source books that we have, everything. It'll probably, if you listen to the podcast, you probably already know where it's going to be going. But yeah, I want to start trying to do that, put my all into this stuff, to see what I can do with this long form. That's the only type of game that I haven't conquered yet, I feel like. And if I can do that, sky's the limit for us, Podcast was amazing. Thank you. Hello there. You guys are making me feel so cool, man. Let's go. My gosh. Let's go. David Torres says, isn't it crazy? Andor of all characters is our only hope. That is so crazy if you really think about it. Andor of all characters is our only hope. Are you talking about for the show or something? Or I'm not sure. But Andor's cool. I love it, man. I want to see pages inside the Sith War before the comic pages start and after the comic pages end. Oh. So, okay, let me get it. One second. Okay, so you want to see the title page? Because this art, guys, so I picked this up over the weekend, okay? And one of my things is if maybe I like to go to parks and run and do all this crazy stuff, because I'm a deceptively athletic person, and I like to make sure that if I'm 90 years old, I'm still going to be able to sprint as fast as I can, okay? I don't want to be one of those old people that can't, run and do stuff. So I've always just tried to be active. And usually when I'm around a new city, I try to check the bookstores. And because I live in Central Florida, there's a lot of places that are just really crazy, and there's no Star Wars anything. That's not new. So it's really hard to find people's old stuff, garage sales, things like that. So I ended up finding Yo, Eldor! Oh my god, it's been so long. Thanks for being here, fam. I appreciate you. I don't know if you've watched any of the shorts or anything, man, but always good to have you, fam. I really appreciate you. But yeah, so I like going around to the old bookstores and thrift stores to see if anyone like gave up their stuff, because it really makes me feel like a lot of times when I find some new books, it makes me feel like I just like stumbled upon like this person's holocron, you know? And so I was like, wow, that's so cool. And I have a whole bunch of books. And sometimes, depending on the city that I go, I end up finding more books that were acquired from the same person. So it's really cool that their like entire collection is like living through me, it's still getting use. And some of them even have like notes. So this is like completely off topic, but one of the ones that I love is it actually has literal like pen marks as you go through it. Let me see if I can see this, if the light isn't there. Yeah, right there, you see. So someone, like even back in the day in like 2008, someone was like using notes and doing stuff with it. And then, you know, I pick it up. So I feel like I'm like Darth Bane or something reading Revan's holocron. So it's really fun. So, yeah, just imagine that. Yeah, no, imagine that 90-year-old Dagovere sprinting. There's going to be a lot of bones cracking and huffing and puffing. Yeah, so, okay, Zara Darth City. It says, yeah, I want to see the page that shows how many years before it's set. Okay, all right, I got you. Oh, you know, it just has the... It just has the edge of the whirlwind, so it's the beginning. So all right, see like this one, right? This has pencil mark right here at the top right. So someone was using that already. So which is really cool. Now I will show you. So it doesn't have the BBY stuff like the electronic comics do, but that's where it would be. That's where it would be. And then it looks like, I think that's Ulick. Yeah. So, and then the last page, which is the gallery, which is so beautiful, man. Like, I think it's Dorman. I think it's Dave Dorman is the artist, one of the artists. I can't remember. Oh, Hugh Fleming. It says it right there. Dumbass. Jesus. It says Hugh Fleming and Dave Dorman, I think, are some of the artists that used to work on a lot of these. But they're so good, man. They're so good. And I'm going to be talking about this a lot in the next couple of weeks with the podcast. But I don't know if you want to see the very last end of the page, because it's also extremely spooky and sad. So I don't want to show it, because I think it's a huge spoiler. Yeah. My lord, have to say, well done, your pod episode. Thank you, man. Wow, you guys, that is so nice. Bro, I was stressing out so much about that podcast, man. Because I'd never done it before. You know, I'm a stupid kid in school, bro. I'm probably a stupid kid now, too. But, like, at least when it outside of Star Wars, like, you know, I think when we did our standardized test for, like, writing, I think the highest I got was, like, a 5. And the highest grade was a 6. So that was okay. But, like, reading and stuff like that, you know, I have to read shit over and over, you know. Sometimes it takes me a while to absorb stuff. So, and this was a very difficult book for me to read. But, hey, man, if you guys are saying it's good, then I'm going to keep doing this stuff later down the road, because that's what I want to do. You know, I can buy this book, or I can get that comic or whatever. And if you guys want to know what it's about, I would love to do that in the podcast, which is the essential guide version of that. It's like my version of a review, but not really. But, yeah. Let's get into the good stuff, huh? Let's get into the story. Oh, and Torres. So just so you know, the Kathleen Kennedy drama I've always felt like is really silly. I think a lot of people overreact, and I think most of the people that talk about it don't actually know what's happening. I've always felt like Kathleen Kennedy is the owner of a football team, and she has to hire the general manager. She has to hire the coach. So if she greenlights a really good show about Darksiders, you know, she's not the one writing the characters. She's not the one making decisions to hire, you know, the actors and actresses and stuff like that. And by the time that she approves something, green lights something, the story has already been invested so much, and millions of dollars have been spent already, that, you know, they can't just shelf it. And I feel like because of who she is, she's the biggest target. I will say, though, at the end of the day, she is the captain of the team. You know, she's the leader. And everything that happens that is bad or isn't received well ultimately goes down on the captain of the team. That's the leader, right? So I don't think that she's as guilty as people are saying, but she isn't innocent either. That's honestly just my personal view. That's it. you know. Alrighty, so let's freaking get into the Dawn of the Jedi. So you guys, we were talking about it last week. We read the first issue. I think it's issue 0, which is kind of like the world building. It's telling you everything. But I want to get in here and read it with you guys. And if you guys have any questions, please shout in the chat and let me know. But I'm ready to get into this. Producers and Acolytes. Dawn of the Jedi Force Storm. We're going to look at the Tho-Yor and everything else. Very, for me, polarizing comic. I am not sure I like this series. I'm not sure I like this book. Very weird, man. It's just different. That's all I have to say. It's very different from the lore that was already established. And when this story came out, it was going so far back behind everything that was established, and I feel like it just doesn't connect everything well. It's really weird, but we'll get into that. No need to worry over things that happen behind Lucas and walls. So you're having fun talking Star Wars. You got it, fam. That's why you're here. All right, so here we go. Dawn of the Jedi. This is the actual legitimate cover art, the beginning of a new age. And so here's one of the things that always gets me. Let me know if I need to make my. I'll just make it smaller, just because. Okay. Can I put it over here? Yeah, I'll put it over there. There. Oh, wow, that's like actually better. Okay. All right. So here's the thing. This right here. This is like one of the first things that I never really liked about Dawn of the Jedi. Dawn of the Jedi, Force Storm, Part 1 of 5. The Jedi Oath. So, as we know, Odan right? Right when the Republic was created, right when the Jedi Order was created, he created the Jedi Code. That is the first ever Jedi Code. But Dawn of the Jedi is establishing that there was a precursor to the Jedi Code. And this is it. So I'm going to listen. So I'm going to read it to you guys, and I hope you guys understand what I'm talking about, what my grievances is, right? There is no arrogance. There is knowledge. There is no fear. There is power. I am the heart of the Force. I am the revealing fire of light. I am the mystery of darkness, in balance with chaos and harmony, immortal in the Force. So, right off the bat, just interesting. Especially as there is no fear, there is power. Not very Jedi-like, especially the Jedi that we know, right? I am the mystery of darkness. Okay, all right. Well, I get what it's establishing. It's so different. It's very different. The goat himself. Yo, Bugsy Champloo! Woo, woo, woo! Thank you so much for being here, fam. Ready up. Our story begins a long, long time ago on planets far, far away, 10,000 years before our time. For a millennium, high in the snowy Abodi Mountains of Ando Prime, the Dai Bendu attended a massive edifice they called the Tho-Yor. The monks knew the Tho-Yor was not of their world. Within the sealed structure, they sensed great mysteries waiting to be revealed. So if you guys see, there's this like mountain right here. Can you guys see that? Yeah, there's just a mountain. All right? And so, the Dai Bendu waited. They contemplated and meditated and listened with their minds and hearts, as well as their senses. One day, the Tho-Yor spoke to them. Gabad, grapad, grapapa, do you hear? I, the Tho-Yor calls us. Okay, so here's the Tho-Yor, and it's speaking to them through the Force, all right? And so this again, I'm very iffy about this comic and this series and this story, okay? But we're gonna go through it, and I'm gonna tell you stuff as I dissect it, that it's very interesting concept that it's just hard for me to digest. They heard the call in their hearts, in their minds, not the words, yet as a voice, heard in stillness when all was in balance. An invitation. So this Tho-Yor thing is calling them. Now, you see this logo. This logo is really interesting because it also is very similar to the Empire logo. Okay? And this is supposed to be like the beginning of beginning. Like there are Force sensitives, kind of, sort of, but they have no name. And these pyramids are showing up all over the galaxy, all over the universe, and they're appearing before these Force sensitives. And it's calling them, bringing them, right? It was an invitation. But why the hell does it have the goddamn logo of the Empire? It's so weird. Anyway, you guys will find out later, but we'll see. There were no questions among the Dai Bendu. This was their first moment. This was the moment this was the moment for which all their training had prepared them. This was the fulfillment of prophecy. The Dai Bendu entered the Thoyor following that prophecy and found revelation. So it's taking them. This is their calling. And then it goes to different planets throughout the galaxy. 7 other Thoyor repeated the pattern throughout the galaxy. On Kashyyyk, Wookiee warriors defending the Mystic Pyramid heard the call and found peace. On Dathomir, shamans and seers encountered the Thoyor in dreams and visions. The Thoyor sang to them. Dude, the Dathomirians? Night Sisters, everybody. On Rancors, dude? It's enough! They followed the song and found harmony. All right. See? It's crazy. Crazy what's going on here. On Ryloth, Twi'lek philosophers, debating the source of the mystical energy they felt surrounding them, heard the call of the Thoyor and left the safety of their caves to venture into the desert. By instinct, they knew the answers they sought lay beyond their world. They entered the Thoyor and found enlightenment. On Manan, Selkath scholars and scientists paused in their studies as the doors of the great Thoyor opened. They entered and found wisdom. Night Sisters on Rancors, they needed that when Grievous arrived. Oh, yeah, you said it, dude. The 8 Thoyor visited many worlds, gathering other sentients who heard the call, then sped toward the center of the galaxy. Within the deep core, where the dark matter, see? Okay, so that's a term that you guys have to write that down. The dark matter. This is used a lot, not just in this comic, but in the book. The dark matter causes stars to collide and space can warp in the blink of an eye. Though the Thoyor navigated the twisted paths between black holes and stars, arriving at their final destination, the planet Tython, where the ships gathered around the 9th and largest of the Thoyor. The planet heralded their arrival with their great storms. On this world, the travelers felt the energy that surrounded them, the same mystical primal energy, the same force that had first called to them the Thoyor. On that day, the travelers became as one in the Force. The Thoyor left the central pyramid to take the travelers to their new homes in this strange world. One in the Force, these travelers from the diverse and distant worlds also became one people. They became Tythons. See, not Jedi, right? But they're supposed to be the Jedi. But because they're on the planet Tython, which is like in one of the most central parts of the galaxy, I guess that's what they call them. All right? Okay, now we have promotion for random stuff. All right. The purpose of this gathering soon became clear to the Tythons. They were to study the Force and to master abilities it gave them. All right, so you see some Jedi here. They don't have lightsabers. They only have swords. These are the Vibro swords. This is also kind of, sort of a retcon, not really, but you'll see later. But truly knowing the Force would take more than sitting in deep and silent thought. Their lives became a moving meditation on the Force, a manifestation of the Force from within. Observing the world around them, they saw 2 moons in one sky, light Ashla and dark Bogan, and they understood the dual aspects to the Force, light and dark. The light defined the dark, as the dark did the light. When balance was not maintained, Tython reacted to imbalance the severe storms and quakes. This is the problem I have. And so the travelers defined themselves, ever seeking a balance. They became the Jedi, a Dai Bendu term meaning mystic center. Only through the harmony of balance could the Jedi maintain a peaceful world. And so it's hard for me to adjust to the light defined the dark as the dark did the light. You know, it's really difficult to digest because George Lucas has always talked about how, you know, the dark side is an addiction. The dark represents selfishness. You know, it's corruption, it's addiction. And so the fact that these Jedi are trying to balance it, it's not, I don't know, it's just very hard for me to wrap my head around. That's the problem that I'm having with the story. As the millennium unfolded, the Jedi built a great civilization, establishing the temples, cities, seats of learning and healing, each centered around a Thoyor, so the ships that brought them. But not all of those born to the Jedi could become Jedi. Those born without the ability to touch the Force were at the mercy of the planet. Even the Jedi could not always protect them. It became clear after the lost city of Aram was destroyed that Tython was too dangerous for those who could not use the Force. So, in the second millennium, a second migration took place. The Tythons, who were not of Jedi, left Tython, going first to the moons, Ashla and Bogan, and from there outward to populate the other worlds in the system. It was a time of great sorrow and of terrible necessity. Families were sundered, and in many cases, the wounds never healed. So basically, what they're saying is like, okay, they're not force sensitive, it's too dangerous to be here, so just go populate the galaxy on other planets, not here because it's too dangerous. Which is also interesting too. Which is also crazy. All right, you're not allowed to be here. All right, go have sex somewhere else and make children. Let's go. that's actually kind of wild. Yeah, all right. So here we go. We got back to the Thoyor now. Those born with an affinity to the Force were always brought back to Tython. From youngling to apprentice, from journeyer to ranger, and finally to master, a Jedi grew. Passing from one temple to another, seeking knowledge, seeking balance in the Force, their creed, a message of peace. This is the code. There is no ignorance. There is no knowledge. There is no fear. There is power. I am the heart of the Force. I am the revealing fire of light. I am the mystery of darkness, in balance with chaos and harmony, immortal in the Force. One thing I always thought was really cool is just like, the Jedi and the Jedi, they have similarities, but they're not the same. And that's one thing, too, is that they are not the same. But there's really interesting, too, is like their classes. So Journeyer and Ranger. And one of the main character of the book, I think, is a Ranger. So it's interesting to hear these different type of titles throughout the Jedi history. So that's also quite interesting. Hello, cat. So you guys see my camera shaking, it's because of my cat. From Tython, the children of the Jedi spread out across the Tython systems. Traveling toward the sun, they settled on Sunspot and Maltera, Nox, and Arid Krev Kuer. Okay. Beyond Tython, they settled first on Kalamar, jewel of the Tython system. Then Shikakwa, the outlaw world, then on the forest moon of Skagora, and on the moons of the giants, Obri and Mar, and even the outermost planet called Furisgate. The Jedi intervened on the settled worlds as requested, or as the Force directed. But over the centuries, they became mysterious, even feared figures of legend. And sometimes figures of resentment. The children of the Jedi became estranged from their parents. One such, the despot Queen of Shikwa, had Queen Hediah, who first united the crime barons on her planet, then pressed the settled worlds to her service. In her pride, she would not be subject to the Jedi, or the will of the Force. Her will alone would be supreme. So born the Despot War. So was born the Despot War. Which is so hard to... When I read it, bro, I feel like it's deposit, but it's not. It's playing tricks. Oh, man. By far. But this is also the craziest Twi'lek I've ever seen. I mean, Darth Talon is wild looking, but this lady is by far... I don't know if I want to be in the room with her. She's scary. Straight up. Oh, Mass Effect. Wow. Okay. The children of the Jedi returned to Tython to wage war. The Despot army was in great number, but the Jedi had the Force as their ally. The Despot army was defeated at Keleth, the Temple of Knowledge. Queen Hediah was slain, but every victory comes at a cost. Many Jedi warriors fell in that battle. Many more of the Despot armies died. Some of the wounds between the Jedi and their children have yet to heal. Darcidia says, Endo Prime and Dai Bendu first appeared in Episode 1 Racer video game. Yes. Yes, that's cool as hell. All right, so that was 12 years ago, before you were born. So I guess this is the narrator over here, this guy that we're going to see. I hate Queen Hidayah. Shush, Rezi, hating is wrong. Yes, Master Ketu, not necessarily, Harun. Hate is understandable, as is anger. Anger has its uses. It can cleanse like fire. But one must never only feel hate or only feel anger. That brings out of balance. That brings one out of balance. Queen Hidayah wasn't all evil. Many were genuinely devoted to her. To understand Hidayah, I must find where she lives in my heart. How I am like her. Nuh-uh. She's never going to be a part of me. In the light, there is a darkness, and in the darkness, a light. It's the way with us all. Be a prisoner of neither Bogan nor Ashla. Strive to live in balance, as Tython itself teaches us. It is dangerous to do otherwise, and the danger is there, always. Yeah, no, I'm streaming. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, hope to see you at Blue Sky. Yeah, I'm already there. Definitely check it out, fam. All right, so this is where stuff gets really interesting. Okay, so now you're introducing the Rakata. All right, and before, I guess, was a very important character from the Jedi Order, which we're probably going to see more of. I just think it's really interesting how they consistently talk about hatred and the dark side. And the dark side, at least from the Jedi Order and how it wasn't necessarily discovered yet. So they're changing a lot of that. But I guess because this is such an early time in the timeline that I guess it doesn't matter. I guess the two are so far between each other that it's disconnected. So, yeah, very still hard to wrap my head around. But let's get to the craziness of the Rakata and their hounds. Tatooine, a lush world where the twin suns warm, fair skies. A thriving world where their Kumaga live peacefully in gleaming cities alongside its blue skies. But that was before the ships of the Infinite Empire darkened the skies. Before the Rakata came. Before the Empire. Sorry, I always get excited about that. Primitive these, worthy the journey, Zesh. Worth it to me? Yes, Prador Tulkar. I sense little worth reaping in them, but I wouldn't. This is why I have you, yes, Zesh? Yes, Prador Tulkar. Which one? And they're just gonna choose somebody. This one. And then they kill them. Lonai! Monster, that was my son. You didn't need to kill him. We didn't need him at all. We are the victors. We do as we like with you. You have won this day, but the Kulgamar will fight. We will fight until you are driven from Tatooine. Unlikely that. What is this stuff? Okay. You have done well, Zesh, finding this planet, calling the sensitives. Yes, I think you are the best of the Force Hounds, and you are mine. Zesh's abilities are superior, Predator Tulkar. It is a wonder a Predator Skalnas has not yet commandeered him. To take Zesh, Prador Skalnas would have to meet me in battle, or a moon. And Prador Skalnas knows that. Prador Skalnas has sent a message ordering you back to Biss. I am to stay to oversee the culling. Force chokes him. The way the Rakata talk is really weird, by the way. Very different. But you can see that they have the different skin colors, like the different clans and Knights of the Old Republic. So they're kind of keeping some similarities. I only conveyed the order. You think me stupid, Oramoon. You think I do not know you are Skelkass's spy. You think I could not sense your lust for my command, or feel your pleasure in relaying the order. Stupid that. Now you know why Skalnas will not face me. Oh, he shocks him too. Oh, does he kill him? Okay, I guess that guy's dead, guys. It's a rip. Oh yeah, okay. Prador Tulkar, will you obey the command? Of course, as I am your Prador Skalnas is mine. Commands must be obeyed. Have the body properly prepared. All this activity has given me an appetite. Oh, whoa. right, so this is where things get crazy. All right, so now you're kind of seeing the hierarchy of the Rakata and how these things are. But it's also really weird because I feel like they have these hounds, as you saw. They have these like people that are like their slaves, and then people that are their slave warriors. And the slave warriors are Force sensitives, who basically seem like Jedi or Sith. So yeah. Deep Core, the planet Abyss. On this dark world, the Infinite Empire has established a center of power. From this temple fortress, the Rakata explore the mysteries of the forbidding Deep Core and plumb its riches. The command center, the beating heart of the Rakatan stronghold. Skalnas, and this is Skalnas, this guy right here. Predor Skalnas Tolkor. Predor, why do you summon me? I took Tatooine. It was my conquest. Now another is sent to reap the slaves. Predor Tolkor, I do not require you at all. It's your hound Zesh that I require, and only he attends at your heel. Okay, so he needed his hound. He needed his Force slave. My hound, Trill, claims she has sensed a Force-rich world within the Deep Core, but she cannot precisely locate it. It is there, my Predor. The Deep Core is a maze full of anomalies that skew the senses. The task of finding the world within is impossible. Is that true, Hound Zesh? Is it impossible? Oh, Darth Vader. And so our buddy Zesh here says, for Trill, yes. Okay, so it's an insult. All right, so we're already we're already pissing people off. Okay, liar, braggart and liar. I'll take your skull. Okay, so they're fighting. They're upset. It's on site for these hounds. Okay, and then looks like Zesh gets a good kick in the groin. Oh, but she blocks it. All right. Oh no, but he actually does get kicked. Okay, and then he dispossesses her. Okay, interesting. All right. So I guess Zesh is that dude in the chat. He's that dude, guys. Enough. Okay, and then he throws them away with his power. So this red Rakatan is actually pretty strong. I think even the red Rakatans were in KOTOR, right? Ending the fight so soon, Predor. Premature this. I am thinking we were about to learn who the dominant Force Hound would be. Neither Hound issued a formal challenge. If there is to be a death match between them, protocol will be followed, and all of the Infinite Empire will watch. Pay-per-view? I look forward to it. Okay. You Hound, you did not answer my question. Can this world be found? Be certain you remember the protocols, Predor Skalnas. If Zesh sensed the world, I claim right of its conquest. Protocol will be observed, Tolkor. The right will be yours. Oh, he's at the top looking in space. Okay, interesting. Well, Hound, can you find this world? Yes, I can find this world. I will take you to it, and you will feast upon its bones. God damn. God damn. What the... Why is this Zesh guy, like, just trying to aura farm in the first couple pages of the story? It's crazy. Okay, so we have the ancient writings from the series, and this is the this is a preview for Conan, I think. I think that's it. Yeah, okay. Okay, and that was the first series, guys. That was the first series. Oh, I didn't have the whole freaking song on the whole time. I'm such a bud. I should have looked at it. Sorry, guys. So what do you guys think about that, huh? Very interesting. Very interesting how it's setting up stuff so much further in the past, at the very beginning of Star Wars. And it's really hard for me to understand the whole Dark Force lightsaber and using the dark side of the Force before it was even discovered. So, yeah, just very interesting. Very interesting. But I guess at the same time, too, technically, the Rakata had always been introduced in the Infinite Empire in Knights of the Old Republic. And Knights of the Old Republic had given us the idea of the Rakata and how they were using the dark side of the Force. So technically, technically, the dark side of the Force had always existed and was always there. My issue is when you get to the Jedi Order, the Jedi didn't know what the dark side was. They had discovered the dark side later. And so this pre-established precursor order, I guess during the time of the Infinite Empire, that is when they're able to understand it and they're doing different things, but something happens here where I guess the entire Jedi Order is destroyed and gone, and then the Jedi become a thing, and then they, I guess, rediscover the dark side? I don't know. Yeah. It's mentioned in KOTOR that Tatooine wasn't a desert when the Rakata... Yes, that is correct. Yes, I know that one. Yeah, that one isn't like too much of a mystery. All the KOTOR stuff. It's just this. It's just this, how they... You know, they're really enhancing and filling more into the blank, but it's just hard for me to understand it, really. Maybe it was lost knowledge. Yeah, and I think Academy, you said that last week too. And that, in my opinion, is the one that makes sense. Is that it's lost knowledge. Just like the Tales of the Jedi and the Ossus Temple, where Exar Kun is there, and Exar Kun, is fighting with the Massassi warriors and everything, and then the Jedi Master turns into a tree, and then the suns go around it, goes supernova, and basically destroy all of Ossus and everything that's there. So all the lost knowledge until Luke Skywalker finds it. So, I mean, that makes sense. That is more for me. It's much easier for me to understand that way. So, yeah, it's just different. I don't think it's bad. The book is hard. Is just different. There's just a lot of things. They said bitch. They said the word bitch in Star Wars. That was really weird. It was really weird. The main character, she's like off and going around trying to find people, and then she's like, this bitch is a Jedi, and she's referring to herself. It's like, I was like, what the hell? That was so weird. It was really weird. So, yeah, that was a lot different. But even still, I think the world building is a little hard for me to understand. It's just difficult for me to acknowledge, especially with like me enjoying the Tales of the Jedi comics so much. Maybe that's why. It just seems like it contradicts a lot of the Tales of the Jedi stuff, especially about the Sith Empire and the purebloods and everything. Just very different. Do you think Jedi Order will ever be in the thousands like before? Yeah. I think it'll be. I think it can be. I think as long as the Jedi, Luke Skywalker established the Jedi Order or the Jedi Academy pretty well in Legends continuity, and I think that him removing everybody and going to Ossus is perfect, and that's exactly what needs to happen. I think as long as whether Rey or somebody else does this, and they go back to Ossus or they go back to Tython, or a planet like Yavin, something that has some interesting connection to the places of old, or maybe a new planet, maybe they can find the moon of Ashla or something, right? I think it would be really cool for the Jedi to be the Jedi again and just be disconnected from politics. And I think as long as they can do that and be guardians, anything's possible. I also think that, especially after reading Tales of the Jedi comics, the whole entire no offspring thing in Star Wars with Jedi, I think that needs to stop. I think that should be a prequel trilogy only thing, honestly. An Old Republic, but it's not really an Old Republic. It's there's so many examples of the Jedi being like in love. Like Nomi Sunrider is a fantastic example of a Jedi that had a child, had two love lives, and turned out perfectly. Luke Skywalker as well in Legends continuity, and Nomi Sunrider saw so much, witnessed the whole entire freaking murder of her husband, her daughter almost died, went through so much through all these battles, and still was like literally like one of the greatest Jedi of all time. The character is completely underappreciated. Love that character. Yeah, it was definitely interesting. Yeah, different but interesting. Thank you, Skywalker Academy. Appreciate you guys, and appreciate you again. I appreciate you guys literally listening to that podcast. Speaking of comics, what happened in the new Kylo Ren comic? Did that come out? Did that come out? Or are you talking about the first one? Hang on, wait. When is the new issue of? Was it Legacy of Vader, Kylo Ren? Oh, that one. Yeah, that one I actually bought. It's around here somewhere. They're around here. I bought like so many of them. So let me Legacy of Vader. Oh my God! Legacy of Vader comes out tomorrow. Damn. The second issue comes out tomorrow, guys. Oh, I wish I could have freaking read it. Basically, what happens is it takes place like right after The Last Jedi, and Kylo Ren throws Snoke's body out of a Star Destroyer. I actually made a whole video on it if you want to check it out, Leon. But it goes by panel through panel, and he ends up basically like calling over to General Hux, and he's like, "Hey, I don't know how to do this shit. What was Snoke's plans? He never told me anything. He just beat me." And General Hux is like, "Okay, well, there's a lot of problems, you know, Last Jedi just happened, so our ship's blown up. We need to get some stuff." And then Kylo Ren's like, "Oh yeah, that sounds great, but why don't you just make me a throne since I'm the supreme leader now?" And so General Hux gets all butthurt and pissed off, and him and Kylo Ren are just having that measuring contest about who's in charge. And then Kylo Ren gets like really upset about letting the past die and all these things because he's been so obsessed with Darth Vader, and now he's blaming Darth Vader for his weakness and his failures. So he travels to Mustafar and goes into Vader's castle, and there Vader's like main person that served him the entire time has been waiting in like this weird droid, very similar to the Bowmore monks, how they have just their heads. And he's waiting there, and he's like, no, man, don't be so mad at Vader. Vader was a cool guy. I know you want to give up the past, Kylo Ren, but the past is what made Darth Vader strong. And I can show you how Darth Vader became so strong using the pain of his past. And that's how the first issue ends. So Kylo Ren's like, "Okay, I'm not gonna kill you. Teach me how to be strong like him." That's basically that is the the watered down version and summary of that. Darth Sidious says in Knights of the Old Republic, Jintapol says, "Our masters warned us about the dark side." So I'm not sure where you're getting that in the Jedi didn't know about the dark side. No. The Jedi at the start of the Jedi at the start didn't know what the dark side was. It was only after meditating did they find the dark side of the Force. That's the whole Legions of Leto and the Xandor stuff. Ajunta, mind you, is one of the first Dark Lords. His story comes like thousands of years after the Jedi are created. Ajunta is one of the first Dark Jedi exiles, so he's the last of the war. He was already warned because the schisms had happened before he was even alive. Ajunta is a very important character, all that. And that's the whole thing, is like, when you play Knights of the Old Republic, Ajunta is telling you this. So that's what I'm talking about, is like, like how the Jedi Order fits into the whole story. I feel like after Night, it's really weird. It's really, really, really weird. The way that is. But that's just me. It's how I don't like it. Yeah, it's just different. Because when the Jedi first were a thing, the dark side wasn't messing with them. It was only when people discovered the dark side, and then they had the disagreement, then they had the schisms, the 100-year darkness, and then the Jedi exiles lost. And Ajunta is a part of like Sorzuzin and everybody else. It's his whole squad that loses, and they all get kicked out by the Jedi. He's the first Dark Lord of the Sith. One of the first Dark Lords of the Sith. It's a good story, man. Such a good stuff. That's something that needs to be made. Like that should be Dawn of the Jedi. That, not this Dawn of the Jedi stuff. That movie that they're making, I'm hoping is the schisms, the discovery of the dark side, and Junta Pol and Sorzu Zin and everybody gets casted out and finds Korriban. That would be an amazing movie. But yeah, Sidious, if you look through, if you check out all of the beginning and the Legions of Leto and Xandor and everybody else, like that whole conflict is like a couple thousand years. It takes a very long time for the Dark Jedi exiles finally to get casted out, and the Junta Pol is like literally like one of the last ones. It's the last story before the Jedi create the Sith. Yeah, I think, like, I literally think the movie should be, like, a 2.5 hour narration. Like, just give me the beginning of The Lord of the Rings with Galadriel talking about the One Ring, but just give me the 100-Year Darkness and the Great Schisms and the Dark Jedi exiles finding Korriban and becoming the Dark Lords of the Sith. That's, like, that should be the whole movie. Just give me that. That's what I need. But yeah, a couple more minutes here, guys, to take on any questions before you head out. This week, I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff, and the podcast is going to be shifting to every other week, just so I can give myself time with work and everything, real life work. But I am working on a long form video, and I hope you guys will enjoy that when it's released. The script is halfway done, and I'm going to take my time editing it because I want to make sure that it's the highest quality I can put in. I'm starting to see how important all that is when it comes together, so, you know, we'll see. We'll see how it works, since YouTube likes so many different things now, but we'll get it going. Yeah, if you guys want to know more about the Schisms too, Book of the Sith is a great book, by the way. It tells you everything. It's in my opinion, it's the most polished version of the Jedi Schisms. It's very good, and the Jedi Path has some stuff on it too, but the whole Schisms and the Dark Jedi, the arrival of the Dark Lords of the Sith, it's all perfect. Yeah. Junta Pol, Martian Azozan, Commander of the Black Legions, Baron Drapa, and Fluhaka and Sorzu Zin. I think that's... Oh, and Karnus Mur, I think that's all of them. But yeah, man, it's pretty good stuff. Book of the Sith is so good, guys. There it is, right there. Yeah, and that's the very end. That's the very end. So, Junta Pol already is very, very well aware of the entire war, you know, of Dark Jedi versus the Jedi. So, because he's the last one. Yeah, I feel like Junta Pol is like a really good source of like understanding where the Jedi really started to feel the fear the dark side. Do you think we'll get any animation show after Andor? There's a couple being made right now, and then Star Wars Visions releases this year too, and Star Wars Visions is gonna be good, man, because it's a lot of the same creators of the first season, a lot of the same studios. So and that's the thing too. I think Star Wars Visions season 1 is like, it's not, people don't talk about it enough. Star Wars Visions season 1 is one of the best pieces of Star Wars media. I'm actually surprised how under the radar that first series is. Your vid's always on my day. Thank you so much, fam. Dude, thank you. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. I've had to take a little break because I was literally putting out a video every single day for an entire year on Shorts. And the algorithm has been hiding my videos from everybody right now. So I'm doing every other day. So it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But I'm never going to stop. Never going to stop. I'm just slowing down so I can do the podcast and the long form videos. Yeah, please watch Visions. I would watch a couple of the episodes, watch the duel, watch the twins, watch the village bride, watch Lop and Ocho, watch the Elder, and the Ninth Jedi. Those are all of those episodes that I just said should all be series or movies. They're so good. It's incredible how well those stories are. Elazer, legend. How you doing, fam? Ready up. We're just about to end here. Did you hear about that director who wants to make Dreams and Nightmares of Darth Vader movie? That's really cool. There could be a bunch of stuff done. I just don't know how the younger fan base would deal with that. But you know, that's the only thing. You know, how do you make it for everybody? But then at the same time too, not every story is for everybody. So, but if it makes money, bro, it makes money. You know. I want another episode from F Village the Bride. That would be amazing. Yeah, I love F. I could really see a whole series off of F and the Ronin. They're just so good. And I'd really like to see a whole series too of the Ninth Jedi, man. That is a great story, the Ninth Jedi. They're really, all of them are good, man. All of them are so good. Yeah, it would most likely be rated R. Yeah, that's a lot of. You're censoring a lot of people from seeing that, you know, or you're stopping a lot of people from seeing that. That's the only thing. Your Mando helmet looks so sick, homie. Thanks, fam. I love the Mando. I was so close to getting a cosplay this year. That's one thing I wanted to do was cosplay as Mando. But I got my Kylo Ren stuff, which I'm really excited about this year. Oh, I forgot. I also bought the Stranger helmet. So maybe depending on how ripped I get, I could do the Stranger cosplay too, which would be really sick. No. Yeah, I love that. I love it when he says that. No. He's overhated, man. I love that character. I really like that character. Yeah, man. I really enjoy it. Kamira underrated. Yeah, he's completely underrated, man. Give me him. Give me a whole series about him and Plagueis, please. Please. Are you watching Revenge of the Sith in theaters? Yes. I even want to get one of the photos or the posters. I got the Return of the Jedi poster a while, Return of the Jedi poster the last time I saw it. Kevin Ferguson? Is that his name? Kevin Ferguson? I can't remember. He's the one that does a lot of the art. He's so good. It's just, and it's also like my favorite Star Wars movie, man. That movie's gonna be really hard to watch in theaters, guys. As you get older, that movie's very hard to watch. It's just all the emotions and everything. I was like, oh god, bro, I've already seen that movie so many times, and every time it just hurts. Now it's on the screen again. Now it's on the big screen again. All right, guys, I think that's gonna be it today. I'm gonna chill. Thank you so much, everybody. Sidious and everybody. Leon, I just really appreciate you guys coming in here and chatting. Make sure you guys also join the Discord. Link is inside all the videos that I do for shorts. It's also on my Instagram. Anywhere that you can find my profile, it's usually there. So you can get the link and join the Discord. But yeah, always appreciate you guys. It's always so damn fun. So really appreciate you. Please check out the shorts every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and the podcast on Sundays. And yeah, we got a huge long-form video coming too, so I can't wait to see you guys, okay? As always, come into the Dark Temple, visited by Mara Jane, Luke Skywalker, Kyle Katarn, and so many Force Senators like yourself. I'm Lord Dagovere, and I'll see you around. Deuces!